Dominuses. They are an incredibly popular Roblox accessory item that basically everyone wanted at some point. This series aims to dive into every single Dominus listed and their history for our Roblox. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, then I highly recommend watching it before this one. Let's dive straight into it. So, the video has barely even started and we're already starting off with a Dominus that has the worst name to pronounce. I mean, how do you pronounce it? Is it Vespertilio? The Dominus Vespertilio is a limited hat that was published on October 26, 2012. Similar to a Dominus Messer, which was talked about in the last part by the way, it came from the open gift of Sinister Ascension, an item purchased for 31,000 Robux. Around 526 copies of the gift were bought by Roblox users before going off sale. The Dominus became a limited on February 15, 2013 and now costs around 2.5 million Robux. The Dominus has grey hood and rings. The rings have green lighting on the center. The wings also have a bat-like appearance rather than the typical feathers Dominuses usually tend to have. The Latin description translates to "death is the final limit of things," which I find pretty poetic. The word Vespertilio is also a word for bat in Latin. Apparently it's also used to define the family of bats in evolution. At some point, it was considered to be the most affordable Dominus, until Dominus Perfectus was added to the marketplace, a Dominus we will talk about in the next part. There's not too much to say about the Vespertilio, so we'll be moving on to the next Dominus. The Dominus Eris is a limited hat published on December 18, 2013, coming out of the Open Mineris Eris DevX gift accessory. The accessory was given to users who used the Developer Exchange System or bought it for 50,000 Robux. The Developer Exchange System, or DevX, is a program that allowed users to trade their earned Robux for real money in USD, 285 Robux being equivalent to $1. Only 152 copies of the gift accessory were purchased before going off sale on December 18, 2013, later becoming limited on November 2014. The Dominus Eris currently costs 12 million on the Roblox marketplace. The Dominus Eris is completely colored in gold. The hood, rings, and feathers only have an appearance of gold, with the inside of the hood being the exception. This was the back of the Dominus Eris before getting a model change on the 20th of December 2013 due to constant complaints on the forums. On April 16, the mesh and texture of the Ares was unintentionally swapped with the Dominus Venari. Fortunately, this was fixed after a quick discovery, and the Venari will be talked about in the next part. The name of the Ares derives from the Latin word aurum, meaning gold. The description translates to, "do not take as gold everything that shines like gold." According to a wiki, this may be a reword of the common saying, "all that glitters is not gold." That's all for the Dominus Eris. Now we'll be moving on to the next Dominus. Moving on to what I consider my favorite Dominus of all time, and the one I'm very excited to talk about, the Dominus Astra, initially named the Dominus Noctis, like the Final Fantasy character. This cool looking Dominus is a limited unique hat published on June 23, 2014. It was part of the 2014 midnight sale and could initially be purchased for 75,000 Robux with 26 copies of it in stock. This Dominus sold out in merely 7 seconds, and as of today, all 26 copies still exist. And it is priced at 6.7 billion Robux, the most expensive in the marketplace currently. One of the things I find super cool about the Dominus is its appearance. A dark blue hood with a couple of stars scattered throughout. The outer part of the rings share the same color as the hood, with the center being grey. 4 dark feathers with a white tip is also evident. The description translates to "seas and night," and Astra is a Latin word for stars or heaven. The Dominus Astra is one of the 2 Domini with the highest initial selling price along the Dominus Rex. On the 11th of October 2025, pretty recent, the Dominus Astra was sold for 7 Robux. What makes this even stranger is that this is far below the platform's minimum allowed selling rate. Anyways, that is all for the Dominus Astra. Now we'll be moving on to the next Dominus. I already bought up the Dominus Rex when talking about the Astra just now, but it is a limited hat published on May 23rd, 2015. It was previously sold for 25,000 Robux and was on sale on a 1-hour timer. It still went limited shortly after its timer ended, and it's worth 10 million Robux. Only 219 copies were purchased before it went limited, and as of today, only 129 known copies exist. The appearance of this Dominus consists of a light purple hood with gold-covered rings, light feathers protruding with a black and purple tip. The description translates to "from sea to sea," based on Canada's motto, and Rex means king or ruler in Latin. The mesh for these Dominuses is a combination of 3 existing Domini. Have a go at guessing which Dominus you think it is. If you guessed the Dominus Frigidus, Infernus, and Ares, congrats! The mesh for Frigidus was used for the hood, the mesh for the Infernus was used for the feathers, and if it's not obvious enough, the mesh for the Ares was used for the shoulder rings. That's all for the Dominus Rex. The Dominus Pitachium is a limited hat published on March 15, 2016, specifically made for the Tixapalooza. It costed 5 million tickets, equivalent to roughly 300,000 Robux. It was on a 30-day timer before going off sale with 39 total purchases. On July 4, 2022, it went limited, and all 39 copies still remain. The Dominus currently costs 618 million Robux on the marketplace. The appearance of the Domini consists of a yellow hood, 2 gold discs at the front with the letter T on them, representing tickets, and the wings are replaced with 3 ticks protruding from each ring. The Latin description translates to "farewell forever." The Dominus itself commemorating the removal of tickets. The word Pitachium means tickets and label in Latin as well. This was the only Domini purchasable with tickets, and also the most expensive item ever sold with tickets, as well as the Dominus with the most expensive initial price when the exchange rate is taken into account. That's all for the Dominus Pitachium. There's not too much information, so we'll be moving on. This is all for part 2. I'm sorry if this video is a little bit shorter, but I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day!